Tony Romo was 1-3 in the postseason, and his last appearance was in 2009. I don't know if you remember that. He was sacked 6 times in that blowout loss to the Vikings. But things have changed as of late. Romo, he's a new man, new life. He has the highest QBR in the league, and he's playing the best football of his career. Enter Ndamukong Suh, ladies and gentlemen. Suspended for a day for stepping on Aaron Rodgers, but after the decision was overturned and there was just a measly $70,000 fine, the Lions' top defensive player and their second-rated defense will fight for their playoff life this Sunday. Skip Bayless, who wins?
Stephen A. Smith, allow me first to say I'm glad that Ndamukong Suh had his suspension or got his suspension overturned on appeal. I did not think that he deserved to be suspended for a playoff game, and I don't want any excuses as a lifelong Cowboy fan before this playoff game, which I believe Dallas will win. I'm going to go Dallas 30, Detroit 27, Stephen A., because I like this matchup for 2 reasons. For Tony Romo and for a highly suspect Dallas defense that this week has lost 2 more key performers. The defensive lineman Henry Melton is gone with a knee injury, and Anthony Hitchens, who's just been a godsend of a rookie linebacker, probably will be out with a high ankle sprain. But despite all that, Stephen A., even though I do not think that DeMarco Murray will even sniff 100 yards against the best run-stopping defense in pro football. Detroit ranks number 1 against the run, allowing only 69 yards a game. Despite that, I think that Tony Romo, and I'm going to say it again, he does deserve the regular season MVP. He will continue to have the success offensively, throwing the football that he has had in the past against Detroit. In 2011 at Jerry World, he put up 30 points. Last year at Detroit, he put up 30 points. And I believe his offense, mostly because of him, can put up 30 points this time. But Stephen A., why did Detroit come back to win both of those football games? I'll give you one name. Megatron was the reason Detroit came back in 2011 at Jerry World, all the way from 27-3 down in the 3rd quarter. He caught 2 unstoppable 4th-quarter touchdown passes. Last year in Detroit, he caught 14 balls for Stephen A. I'm having a hard time comprehending how many yards he had. 329 yards last year in Detroit. Brandon Carr chased him all over the carpet. That was only, 7 yards short of the NFL all-time record by Flipper Jones back in 1989. I don't think that's going to happen because Megatron, Calvin Johnson, has not been Megatron this year. You and I have talked about it. He has never looked healthy. He's never looked nearly as explosive as he looked in the past. So I think that even Brandon Carr can hold Megatron, Calvin Johnson, to a low roar this time. And I think that Tony Romo can score enough points that Dallas can hang on and win this game 30-27.
Skip Bayless, as much as it would make me laugh, and laugh heartily, I might add, if the Cowboys were to lose this game, I'm not picking them to lose this game. I think the Dallas Cowboys will win this game in Jerry World. I think they'll win it by a score of 37-31. I think they're going to put up points. I think that is as ferocious as Detroit's front 4 can be. I think they're going up against an offensive line that will be ready for them in the Dallas Cowboys. I don't believe that DeMarco Murray will have a huge day in terms of consistency, but I can envision him breaking off a big run or 2 in the game. I don't think they're going to be able to hold him completely down. But the biggest reason I can't pick against the Dallas Cowboys for this game, Skip, is because of Matthew Stafford. He has 22 touchdowns and just 12 interceptions this year. But the man, he's only completed 60% of his passes. And to me, with that and Megatron not quite looking like Megatron, I do understand that I expect him to show up this game. I think that he'll have a decent game. Megatron in combination with Golden Tate can make some noise. But Reggie Bush and Bell, their running game is not as stout as it would need to be against the Dallas Cowboys to change things up. And I think it's going to require Matthew Stafford to put forth a Herculean effort in order to escape with this victory. And I simply don't believe he's going to be able to do so. let us also remember that it's not just about DeMarco Murray, but it's about Tony Romo, who does have Des Bryant and Jason Witten and Terrence Williams to lean on as well. And so I just think that ultimately both defenses are going to have a real tough time stopping the opposing offenses. But I think that Dallas is going to sit there and have the edge because of the bevy of personnel that they have to throw in Detroit's direction. Detroit's secondary with Quinn and those boys, I'm sure they can make a play here or there. But in terms of consistency throughout the game, I don't see it, whether it's Quinn, it's Clay, or whomever. I don't see that secondary being able to hold off Des Bryant and Jason Witten and those boys. I just don't see that happening. I see them scoring enough points, but I think that Dallas will score more. And I think at the end, they'll reign victorious, 37-31.
I hope you're right. I also hope you're right about Matt Stafford, Stephen A., because I remind you, he's a local boy made good. He's from Highland Park High School right there by SMU in Dallas, Texas. And the one time that he did play at Jerry World, as I pointed out, they came all the way back from 27-3 down and won 34-30. But Matt Stafford is 0-1 in his playoff career. And you know that haunting stat that follows him around, that he's now 0-16 on the road against teams that finished the regular season 500 or better. Cowboys qualify. I hope that streak doesn't end. I do expect Matt Stafford to make some plays in this game against the suspect Cowboy defense. But again, I think that Tony Romo, even at Jerry World, where the Cowboys haven't been great, they were great against Andrew Luck, but they're only 4-4 at home. Detroit 4-4 on the road. But I think that Tony Romo will make one more big play than Matt Stafford will be capable of.
And I just think that the Cowboys, when you look at them, the only way you're going to pull that off, particularly Detroit, is if you make them one-dimensional. And I don't see how anybody's going to be capable of making the Dallas Cowboys one-dimensional in this game. I just don't see Detroit being able to do that. But I do want to take a moment to applaud Jim Caldwell and the job that he's done as head coach. 11-5 in his first season in Detroit. Some semblance of stability to that squad. He deserves a lot of credit for the job that he's done. I'm sorry that he's not going to win a playoff game. I just don't see them winning. But you know I would be smiling Monday if I'm wrong.
I hope you're not smiling.
On Monday. Yes. All right, gentlemen. Again, we'll be in Dallas on Monday. We'll be able to talk about the game then. Cowboys favored by 7 points. You heard Skip and Stephen A. You know who they're picking, obviously Dallas. So we want to find out what you think at home. Who wins the game? Use this hashtag on the Twitter, hashtag FTPick, and we will reveal the results a little later on in the show when we revisit the topic. Here's a question. Calling Ben Tate, or it's the statement, rather. The Steelers say they are in need of some extra help after their star running back went down. Will Le'Veon Bell play? That is the discussion. The gentlemen will weigh in with their perspectives once we return.